Excuse me. All right. I have something super important that I need to ask you. I have something. Who would win in a fight? 100 men or one gorilla?
100 men. No, a gorilla. A gorilla.
You really think a gorilla could beat 100 men?
Okay, it depends on like what men they are. If they're like 100 like
Gamers.
okay, no, not gamer. Okay, let's use them. What's his name? Jack Doherty as bait. And then maybe the other men would have a chance.
That's a great answer. That's the best answer I've heard.
But I would say a gorilla. That's my guess.
Okay, a gorilla. All right. Somebody else. Joey, I have an important question to ask you. Joey, who would win in a fight? One gorilla or 100 men?
100 men.
What is your reasoning for this?
Because there's one gorilla and there's 100 men.
Can you please clarify?
Humans are superior to apes, and so we could do like groups of 10 and attack them.
1v1 a gorilla.
Yes.
Would you win?
Yes.
Confidence. All right, Maddie. 100 men, one gorilla.
Probably 100 men too.
All right, that's.
A lot of surrounding.
It is a lot.
Overstimulating for the bear.
Yeah, and a lot of gorilla, a lot of waves.
Yeah.
Well, 100 men. Well, there's like 500 men. There's still like 50 men still like ready to go. They'd be like, ha, loser gorilla, and then we'll get tired, and then we just.
That's good reasoning. All right, David, I have a super important question for you. 100 men or one gorilla?
100 men.
What's your reasoning for this?
So I saw somewhere that this ape expert, he was an expert with apes, he said he believes that it would only take about 40 men to beat a gorilla. And he's an ape expert. He's been around a lot of apes. He talked about how a gorilla, eventually, the men aren't attacking one at a time.
Yeah.
So basically, they would just jump on the limbs, and a man for each limb, or even two men for each limb, and then you pin it down, and then one could just start bashing its skull in.
Okay. So, can you cite your statistics?
No, but I'm not saying this will be a flawless victory. There will be casualties. If you account for the fear factor, the gorilla may be able to win because the men might retreat. Is that an option? Retreat?
Yes.
Then I think the gorilla may win because some men will die and become crippled. So they may just retreat and flee after the first couple die.
Okay, that's really good reasoning. Audrey, who do you think would win in a fight? One gorilla, 100 men.
Wait. How many, who would I win in a fight with, or?
No. Which versus each other? Who would win?
Oh.
100 men, one gorilla.
100 men, obviously.
What's your reasoning for this?
They could just, pile on.
Pile on. Okay, there we go. Reagan, 100 men, one gorilla.
100 men.
Reasoning.
Well, gorillas are in zoos.
They're what?
The gorillas are in the zoos.
Oh, that's good. That's probably the best reason I've heard so far. Thank you. All right, let me find somebody else. Evan, I have something really important to ask you. 100 men, one gorilla. Who would win?
I used to think 100. I used to think one gorilla, but now I'm kind of leaning towards the 100 men.
Yes, that's what I've heard so far today. And what's your reasoning for this? What's your reasoning for your change?
Well, they could just poke its eyes out, then it'd be disorientated.
That is actually a great strategy to do, because otherwise it's just like a lump of meat flinging its limbs in every direction. It can't do anything.
Yeah.
Ice cream. All right, thank you. All right, I need someone else. Andrew, I have an important question for you. Who would win in a fight? One gorilla or 100 men?
100 men.
Really? What's the reasoning for this?
Just the sheer quantity, no matter how incompetent or incapable the men would be, there's enough of them to take out a gorilla.
Really? So, what strategies would you think?
What?
What strategies would they employ just by sheer numbers?
Just mob it.
Okay. So just overwhelm it?
Yeah, simply overwhelm it.
Okay, nice. Very nice. Laura, I have an important question for you. 100 men versus one gorilla. Who would win?
One gorilla.
Really? I think that's the first gorilla I've heard today. Why? What is this reason?
Am I right?
I have no idea. Just everybody on the internet's arguing about it.
Oh.
So what's your reasoning for thinking that a gorilla would beat 100 men?
Because I always like to go with the least logical and things like this, because the internet doesn't make any sense.
Okay, thank you for that. That's good reasoning. That's good reasoning. Oh. Mr. Green, I have an important question for you.
Yes.
Who would you think would win in a fight? One gorilla or 100 men?
What kind of men?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a general question though. Let's say the average man today.
I'd say one gorilla.
One gorilla, really? What's your reasoning for this?
Because, like, the most amount of men that could attack at once would probably be like 10 or so. And the gorilla could just take them out by just one swipe. I mean, it'd take, 10 waves of men, but he could handle that.
Okay, yeah. So how big is the gorilla that you're picturing that this is?
Like, I don't know, 600 pounds. Probably arm lengths of like 8 feet.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. We've only had 3 gorillas, and I think I've asked like 20 people so far. We've had 3 gorillas. So
I mean, the men have no weapons, right? They're just hand.
that is correct. Yeah. They're both unarmored and unweaponed. So yes. All right. Joel, I have an important question to ask you. Who would win in a fight? One gorilla or 100 men?
One girl.
One gorilla?
Oh, gorilla? I thought you said girl.
Oh no, one gorilla.
One gorilla.
What's the reason for this?
They're big and they're scary, and 100 men are just like weak.
Thanks. How big is a gorilla in your head?
Like 7 feet tall. No, that's not true. Like 6 feet tall.
6 feet tall, and it could take out 100 men.
Yeah. Do they have weapons?
No weapons.
Yeah, he would get them.
Okay, very much confidence. Who would win in a fight? 100 men, one gorilla.
100 men for sure.
Really? What do you think? Why do you think?
I mean, like the first 20 would die if they charged at him. Then the other ones, they can pin him down.
All right, that's good reasoning. Who do you think would win in a fight? One gorilla or 100 men?
Do the 100 men have any weapons?
No weapons, no armor.
I'm gonna go with the men.
The men, really? And why do you think that?
Because there's 100 of them.
Okay. Yes. Very, very unambiguous. All right. John, I have a question for you. Who would win in a fight? One gorilla, 100 men.
100 men.
Really? 100 men. And what's your reasoning for that?
The number?
Just the sheer number would overwhelm them.
Yeah.
Do they have weapons?
No weapons, no armor.
Yeah, I still think 100 men would win.
Okay, interesting. One gorilla, 100 men.
The gorilla.
The gorilla, really? What tactics would the gorilla employ that would be able to take out 100 men?
A lot more muscles.
That's true. One gorilla, 100 men.
A gorilla.
Really? Why do you think that?
Because gorillas are pretty strong and pretty big. Gorilla.
Okay. 100 men, one gorilla.
A gorilla? 100 men. They could rip out their guts. They have claws. No. They have like big claws. Oh.
No, but the entire internet's arguing about it right now.
It's a gorilla.
Yeah, and there's just everybody's arguing about it, and it's a question that will probably remain unanswered for quite a long time. And now that I've got a lot of people arguing about this, hold on, one last one. Willow, did I ask you yet?
Yeah.
One gorilla, 100 men.
The gorilla.
Really, the gorilla?
Yeah.
What tactics would the gorilla employ that would be able to take out 100 men?
Gorillas will just rip your arms off. Like it's not that hard for a gorilla.
But there's like 100 men.
Okay. It's a gorilla.
Okay, all right. Such confidence, yes. All right. Lucas, who would win in a fight? One gorilla, 100 men.
100 men. The gorilla would get tired, and then the men would be able to strategize and get around it.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. That's probably the best train of logic I've heard the entire time. Jeremiah, this is the last one.
I already said this. The gorilla's done for. He's toast. Scientists have... David was even telling me he was watching a short from a primate, like a primate expert who said that 40 men could take out a gorilla.
He did tell me that on this thing, so... I guess that's the definitive proof. There is no answer. I thought this would be either completely split down the middle, or it would definitely be the 100 men. But yeah, we've seen split down the middle. Totally not expecting that. A lot more people think that it's like a black and white issue. I'm literally looking at a room right now of people talking about this. I'm going to take a video of it and post it to the channel of all the people discussing this. Back to you, Jeremiah and Christopher on the podcast. See ya.
Make sure to follow us on Spotify at Not Your Echo Chamber Podcast and comment on the episode. Subscribe and comment on YouTube as well. We are on Twitter at NoEchoPod. Hit us up there for comments and show ideas. We may end up using them on the podcast one day. Until next time, remember that only our opinions of everything matter. Repeat line. End of speech.